Not only could the rise in tariffs affect families, it could also impact the sales of American-made sports equipment, such as golf clubs and baseball mitts that are exported to Europe and Asia. Last March, DeVries inked a 5-year contract with West Virginia worth up to $50 million. Less than a year later, DeVries has guided the Mountaineers to 3 top 10 wins, including one inside this building. President Trump spent his 2024 campaign talking about the tariffs he would implement on foreign goods, and this month, they took effect for some countries. I'm Brian McQuillen, and I'll tell you how the rise in tariffs could pass an all-time high in the sports industry. Mountaineer Playbook starts now. It didn't even take Saban's 2 weeks into his tenure to break records. Once the Mountaineers hit 8 consecutive wins, it was the most victories to start the season for a first-year head coach in program history. And they didn't stop there. President Trump has implemented a 90-day pause on some of the highest targeted tariffs for countries like Japan and Korea. But local sporting goods stores say the extension has created more uncertainty in their businesses. More than 60 million children play youth sports across the country, and the cost quickly adds up for their parents. Dollar for dollar, Corey Kortsis says ice hockey is the most expensive.
It's definitely our favorite. Not only are you paying a lot of money for the equipment, you're paying a lot of money to play in these leagues and on these teams because it's so expensive to play, practice.
President Donald Trump's increased tariffs on foreign goods could actually impact the price parents pay for their kids to participate in these sports. Companies like Adidas and Nike are largely manufactured in Vietnam and China, which Trump proposed 36% and 125% tariffs on respectively. Not only could the rise in tariffs affect families, it could also impact the sales of American-made sports equipment, such as golf clubs and baseball mitts that are exported to Europe and Asia. Higher prices can lead to a decrease in consumer spending, impacting local businesses.
If people just don't have increased income to go along with increased costs, then yeah, that could be a definite strain.
Stores are expected to experience delays in deliveries and are being advised to order merchandise well in advance. In some cases, they'll have to order smaller quantities to stock their shelves because of the increased prices. For the Kortsis family, they already spend more than $2,500 every year for Nico to play hockey, and he says he can't imagine his life without it.
It means everything. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to play this sport.
So Nico's father says he may just have to spend even more. Last season, the WVU men's basketball team finished with its lowest win total since 2002. They went 9-23. This year, new head coach Darren DeVries is giving fans hope.
I think Coach DeVries can get us a natty. He's already got us 2 4-stars coming in next year. I think the sky is the limit for Coach DeVries.
This season, DeVries made more changes to his roster than any WVU men's team since 1944. Sports commentators say it did not take long for this new crew to buy into the culture.
When I think about West Virginia basketball, I think about playing with an edge, playing with a chip on your shoulder, and I think that's what this roster construction plays like.
Under DeVries, WVU was ranked in the AP polls top 25 for the first time in 3 years. Last March, DeVries inked a 5-year contract with West Virginia worth up to $50 million. Less than a year later, DeVries has guided the Mountaineers to 3 top 10 wins, including one inside this building. This is the first time since 2017 that WVU men's basketball has accomplished that feat. Adam Gutekunst, a Morgantown native and lifelong fan, says he's impressed with what DeVries has done so far.
They look like they've been playing together for 2 or 3 years. In reality, they've only been here since, what, June or July, which to me, I think that speaks volumes to his ability to mold the culture, so to say, to get guys to play together.
At Drake, he won 3 NBC conference titles and finished with 150 wins over his 6-year tenure. DeVries will look to continue his success and return to the NCAA tournament. Brian McQuillen, WVU News, Morgantown. In his 12th season as the head coach at WVU Tennis, Michal Lisats leads a team that consists of just 2 players from the U.S. While international student athletes have their own set of challenges, Lisats, a Slovenian native, can use his personal experience to help them adjust to Morgantown.
I think it's just sharing the experiences. I was a student athlete myself. I was an international, so I understand what they're going through, especially when they're freshmen. What they're going through when they're trying to adjust and assimilate to the life in the United States.
8 different countries are represented on LISAT's 2025 roster. Freshman Lila Byers and senior Catherine Rossick are the only players who aren't international, and they both are Morgantown natives. LISAT began his coaching career at his alma mater, Georgia State, before making the move to the sidelines as head coach of the Mountaineers. Since then, he has brought in talent from France, Australia, Spain, and Norway to pick up wins on this court. Even though everyone on the team comes from different backgrounds, it's that diversity that is helping the squad develop a strong bond.
No, I think that's what I love the most about our team is all the different nationalities and personalities. And I think we just have such good chemistry because we all can contribute with something special. Last season, with a predominantly international roster, LISAT's led the program to its most conference victories since joining the league. WVU is one of 6 Big 12 teams that have at least 7 international players. Brian McQuillen, WVU News, Morgantown.